We're swagging this. What is that, Dwayne?
It's a scientific wild-ass guess.
All right, so to start this episode off, we are getting the body over to the shop. This as a one-man job was quite difficult because it was sitting on jack stands and it was really, really sketchy. So it took quite some time, but we ended up getting it, doing it pretty well, and it worked. Okay, so this is a really sketch setup if I was going anywhere more than like 100 yards. So I'm gonna hope, because this thing will barely fit in that on that car lift. So I'm gonna try to leave it here so that we can actually fit this in the car lift and get under it from back there. So I'm hoping this will work. Otherwise, we're gonna have to figure something else out. But I think this will make it over there. This has got to be one of the most sketchy things I've ever done when it comes to hauling anything. Check out my sponsor, Alaska Backcountry Adventure Tours. They're up here in Alaska. We go out to the Canadian Glacier. It's tons of fun. I'm also one of the guides there, so if you really want, come see me. I will tell you, too, one thing that was really crazy about this is driving at that 100 yards, it literally shifted about a foot over, so it made it really difficult trying to get it in that car lift. Backing it in, just checking the legs here. Just gotta lift it up over that trailer. We should be able to get on it. Woo! Dang, it's about to happen. Dragging this thing over to that thing. All right, let's do it. Oh my gosh, what the freak is this? Check this out. What? Holy crap, man. What? I'm so stoked right now. Oh my goodness. This is asinine. Holy crap. Yeah, buddy. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, dude, check this out. Oh my goodness, I need some bigger tires. Holy cow. Dude, that is a crazy look right there. So that is the lowest I can get the truck. So it's gonna have an inch or two spacer back here. Right here between the subframe and whatnot. So we're gonna have to put some spacers in there. I got some hockey pucks for that. But the subframe is actually sitting down on, or like below where the frame is. So this is as low as I can get it. Actually sitting on the unibody there in the middle. This is ridiculous, but it is so awesome. Holy cow. Now, the only thing about this, the only thing I have to be a little bit bummed about is I can't get the tires, the front tires, or at least not yet. It won't start off this way anyways, but I would like the tires to be just a little bit more centered. Nonetheless, this would be a crazy rock bouncer, right? I mean, the approach angle on that thing is just ridiculous. But it actually, I think, will tie in pretty well. Dwayne had a good point today. He hasn't even seen this yet. I actually moved it out and around and everything after he had left. So he was talking about just visualizing it. He was talking about just making a custom bumper right around the frame horns here, which would allow it to tie it in a little bit better, right? Spot for a winch and all of that jazz. So this is crazy. But that engine actually fits very, very well. Like, look how much space is on each side. I'm gonna be taking out that whole brake setup over there. My brother had a good idea, is take these brake lines and actually, well, might have to replace them now, but take these brake lines and cut them and reflare them, and then take these ones, cut those, and then use this fitting on this hose, and it'll tie in right into the frame's brakes. And then I can use that, you know, that fitting on this, if they're not the same anyways, and just screw it right in and ready to rock and roll. So to be able to fit this this on here, I did have to take this off, but then also I ended up cutting this support down here. So what I am going to do, I'm going to try my best to leave this on here just to give it some stability. Instead of having that cross member there, have the bumper as the cross member essentially. And so it should stiffen it back up a little bit. And one thing that is nice is that it looks like this may clear right here. It is possible, because I'm going to take this rag joint off and replace it with a splined U-joint. So I'm hoping that will allow it to be thin enough to get by this. If not, might have to cut this, you know, and maybe weld a piece in like this, or just cut this off and relocate it maybe right back here or something. But yeah, I mean, I did have to cut the tub. Unfortunately, the trunk is no longer in the Honda Ridgeline, but a new use for this area is going to be the gas tank. I'm going to get a rear mount gas tank, probably not right away, but in the very near future. I want to get a rear mount gas tank, so that way I have more fuel, but also it'll be out of the way and not exposed on the side where the strap is over here, because this is where it was. Okay, so that I don't really want to do that. So what I'm gonna do is put it back here. Obviously I have to extend the fuel lines, but that's really easy. Usually comes with the kit. But we'll just mount the gas tank right here, have the same sending unit and everything for the engine, blah, 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 and it'll be good to go. Getting the drive shaft made by a local company in Anchorage, and yeah, I mean, it's good to go. I mean, interior is still gonna be Ridgeline. Now, mind you, I'm 6'2", and my head is barely at the window. This is so tall. This is ridiculous, but it is amazing, and it's going to be fantastic once it's done. So hopefully tomorrow, this will essentially be a rolling thing. Man, this is just awesome. If you don't like it, too bad, because this thing is badass, man. I want to show you real quick. So clearance, at least to the bottom of the body, basically 37 inches, 3 feet, 1 inch to the bottom of the body. That is asinine. Now, obviously, that's not my true clearance because my true clearance is this down here. And it's going to be the T-case and all that, which sits at almost 2 feet, right? 1 foot 9 inches. So that's still pretty dang good clearance right there. But I am very excited that the body is now here in this position. Oh, so good. So good. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow after work. Dwayne's coming over, and we're gonna get these body mounts welded up so we can push this thing out of here with it together. All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow. So, right here, we drew some lines right where the frame rail sits on this. So we're actually gonna cut this out. That way it can sit a little bit lower, so it's not quite as crazy. And then we'll get the subframe right on this and bolt it right to it. Might put a little bit of rubber in between it or something, but essentially just get it right here on this thing. And then everything will be it was probably about 2 inches lower, the body. So it should look a little bit more integrated, which is what I'm going for. Don't want it to be quite so crazy, but it's awesome. Okay, right now I've drilled pilot holes in all the pucks. Now, putting big holes in them for the bolts. We're gonna be doing that. That way we can get it set up. This is what it looks like from a distance where we're gonna bolt it up at. So that is the rake look and all of that. Dwayne's over here welding up some brackets that we can drill. That's essentially what it's going to look like right there. When it's all said and done, obviously a little bit of weight will be down because it's held up by the frame lift or car lift right now, but that's essentially the position it'll be in. Okay, well, he's working on this. Get some filming in. So we ended up cutting the subframe so it fit around the frame like so. This is how it's going to sit. Makes it look a little bit more like it's supposed to actually be on this frame, which is what I was going for. So it doesn't look quite so body on frame. Looks more integrated. That's the word I was looking for.
You have that whole drilling next over here?
So we did all that. Also took off these front cab mounts right here. So we took those off. Then also took off all the brake lines and fuel line, because we're obviously not using those from the Ridgeline. Last night, I ended up cutting this. I think I might have explained that already, but I ended up cutting this. We did end up cutting off this front mount. We're actually going to be mounting right to the bumper, right from the frame. So that should give it a little bit more solid stability there. But yeah, just got done welding up these braces. Can you hold something?
Actually, I can just do it right here. Okay.
Why'd you mark that, Dwayne?
So we can go in the middle of it. Where
It's
the hole goes. Going to be exact science is what this is going to be.
Lots of swag with this project.
All right.
Perfect.
All
right.
Take a picture of my messy shot.
No way, man. No way. Don't worry. It's just right here. It's just right here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. No, Dwayne was kind enough to let us use his drill press because we didn't have big enough drill bits. They need to be bigger than a 1/2 inch. So we got here and gonna give this a shot so we can get this done. Get these mounted. All right, back at the shop, getting ready to deburr these, get them mounted.
We need a sand.
Just that, where the frame's
Yeah,
at.
spot where it's gonna, yeah. Do that on both sides.
Okay.
And then on the front where the front goes, and I'm gonna work on getting my welder over.
Sweet. Let's get this ground up. Getting the body mounts welded. Woo, let's go. Way to get creative. Didn't have a wrench for that, so we got creative. Get some screwdrivers and a socket. But look at these mounts, man. It's like they're professional. Shoot. All right. I don't know if we're gonna need these later or not. But dang, look at that. Just look at it. Dang. Well, look at this. Not done yet, but look at that. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's where she sits. Okay, so we gotta grind these off. Reason being?
Not all of them, just
Just
a couple pieces. It's a little, very technical.
very technical. So we were looking down last site and we're like, wow, that looks a little off. So we measured it and yeah, it was about 1 inch off centered. So yeah, we got to grind these off, recenter it, and then weld them back on. So we're going to get grinding these off. We're not sure if we're actually going to weld them back up tonight, but we'll grit and ground off. It's getting late. Got church, got work, got to do our things, you know, so might end up actually completing this tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted. All right, so we did not get this thing mounted last night. We were back here on Sunday afternoon. Got back here after work. Dwayne's back. So essentially, we're gonna widen out these holes, drop this back down, loosely put in the bolts, and then adjust the frame front to back, just slightly, to center it up. Because when we welded these on last night, they were off by like 1 inch. It was far. So we cut those off and called it a night. It was just too much. Our gas was burnt at that point. It was almost midnight. So we're gonna be doing this. Get this back on here today. We'll re-weld these on, these mounts right there, right? We'll re-weld those on once we get it centered. Check all our measurements after we just tack it. And then hopefully it's set and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So let's get on this. Okay, all right, is ready to be welded together for the second time. Got everything figured out. All right. Man, this is crazy. So I want to show you this while he's working on that. Check this out. So right here, it's 4-wheel drive shifter. Came in almost perfect. So I'll have to cut into this a little bit, right? But to me, that's not even a big issue. This is just floor vents for the rear. So whatever, cut those off, redo them, you know, make my own ducting if I really need to. But worst case scenario, I feel like I could make a bracket that extends out this way a little bit, and then the shifter's here, so then it levers right here. Also with the transmission, I think I'm going to try to cut this hole right here, and I'm just going to have a manual shift shifter for the transmission. So in the future, we'll see if that actually works and comes together. We will find out. Not quite sure, but hopefully. All right, I'll show you how we made these mounts real quick. So the rear front subframe mount on the inside of the frame is right there. So what we did is we actually took these, welded a nut on the inside, then used some pucks, and then welded this bad boy on there. That's the mount right there. That way it's separate. It does keep this off just slightly, but gives this just perfect amount of room in there so that there's about an inch between everything. So for movement, vibration, all of those things. Also for the electronics, distributor clears up there, so that's fantastic. But that's how we did those mounts right there. And these ones, we just bolted right to the subframe mount. And then this, we're gonna actually drill into the frame and use a little spacer for vibration, but just cut a hockey puck in half. We're gonna drill right into the frame, bolt right into the subframe there as well. So that's what's gonna be holding the body on for the moment. And then eventually, once we get the front end all figured out, or once I get all that figured out and everything's like working, we'll figure something out for the front to give a little bit extra support there. But that's basically it right now. So it's on there. Well, dang, Dwayne. Dang, Dwayne. Look at you. Shoot. That's it. Mounted up. We just got to get the shorter bolts for the very back ones on the frame over here. That is a beast, man. Oh, my gosh. Woo. Yeah, buddy. Brought to you in part by Dwayne Shelton. As you saw, it is now gone. Just like that. That's what I should have done. I should have done one of those things where it was gone. No, but guys, now it's time to clean up the mess. I can't thank Dwayne Shelton enough. You are the man. And honestly, I thought I was going to be able to do this with a forklift, with my measurements and all of that. Yeah, if I didn't have my dad's car lift, this definitely wouldn't have happened either. So, Dad, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for allowing me to use this. I'm glad it just worked out perfectly that you were out of town and didn't need any of this space at the moment for the last couple days. So, guys, it took from the point we got the frame over here to getting it out of here, took us basically 1 full day, 1.5 full days of work, because we did it after Dwayne and I both got off work. So maybe 2 days, 1.5 to 2 days full, from frame, cutting, welding up, all that stuff to this. And that was without even having metal and everything. So realistically, if you knew what you were doing, you probably could do this in like a day or two, like legitimate. So till the next episode of putting that together, then yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, guys. I do have apparel, online apparel. It's at renegadeheadquarters.com. Go check that out. I appreciate it, guys. Also, go to Patreon if you want to support this channel directly. Feel free to go to Patreon and do that, or get yourself a hoodie, hat, all that stuff on the online renegadeheadquarters.com. Guys, I appreciate it. Look forward to the next episode and putting this thing together. All right, guys, we'll see you. Okay, dude, I'm at a roadblock here. These are fatter and different fittings than these to go into the brakes. Got it to fit. Now, sometimes it just takes a little persuasion.